Locked On Podcast Network presents Locked On Sports Today.
There's no dominant team in the NFL this year, so why can't the New England Patriots win it all? Also, the Knicks were going strong until the Magic came in and thrashed them. Plus, the Thunder just obliterated the Lakers.
I'm Peter Bukowski, starting your day with the can't-miss stories and biggest debates in sports. You're Locked On Sports Today.
Searching all major sports. Found.
Let's start with the biggest story.
There's no clear top dog in the NFL this season, so why can't the Pats win it all in February? Again. Our new Locked On NFL Players Squad show discussed why Drake May and the Patriots can come out on top in a chaotic year of football.
I mean, what are the Patriots the real deal? I mean, they went from being in the bottom of the barrel, no Tom Brady. Now all of a sudden they're sitting at 9-2. What do you think, Carl? Mark, what you got? You've been quiet over there.
I think what we're witnessing with Mike Vrabel going to New England, you just seen a complete change of culture. Pretty much the same players, but a new coach, new format, new everything. That culture's changed. He's got that team believing they can win. And damn it, they're doing a damn good job. So it's not smoke and mirrors. He's an excellent coach. Fantastic. Mm-hmm. They're doing everything perfectly. And you can see that from afar. And if you saw them play, they're totally different. They look different. The attitude is different. Yeah. They're a team to be reckoned with, not just making the playoffs. They got a legit shot of going all the way.
Oh snap! I don't think the world is ready.
Don't say it, Mark.
But Jerry, Jeff, Q, Jamal,
Jamil.
Listen. All I'm saying is this: we all played, right?
Yeah.
When was the last time you seen the league with no dominant team?
This is a great point. Go with it.
There's no dominant team, right?
Yeah.
So why not the Patriots?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things, Mark, if you don't mind me cutting in, that's one of the things that a coach is supposed to do. And it's something that was not done in New England in the most recent years. It's your job to know your players and then put them in position for success. Mm-hmm. And that's something that Vrabel has done, as a head coach, and he did it as a coordinator, and he did it as a position coach, and he uses what he has, and he has success with it. 100%. And he's not afraid to try things. Yeah. And here's another thing with Mike as well, is that team is situationally sound whenever those situations arise. That team is prepared. 100%. Yeah. 100%. I agree. Yeah. Because I agree, Bradford. Whoever wins the situational game is at least in the game at the end of it. Yeah. And then it boils down to fundamentals.
You think Bill Belichick is in Chapel Hill just smiling? He's not smiling from his season.
Oh, he's smiling. He's smiling for a different reason.
We're singing for some reason, but hey, I mean, maybe they'll bring him up north. I do find it interesting though, because the commonality, obviously, New England and Buffalo, they got one common player for sure. That's Stephon Diggs. Josh Allen ran him out of Buffalo. Now he goes up to New England. He's looking like a great leader.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because we talked about this on Bill's Squad yesterday.
Tell it.
Before we anoint Stephon Diggs as the next Tony Robbins, okay? Let's understand something. It's really easy to be the greatest leader in the world when everything's going great. When it's not going great, it's a lot harder. And while he's become this, mentor of men and this young quarterback whisperer, in Buffalo, it was different. And
I don't know. I was on that team in Buffalo when Stephon Diggs was there, and there was nothing wrong with his leadership and how he went about his business. I think that
if you let me finish what I was going to say, was throwing temper tantrums on the sideline to me is and calling out your quarterback is not how you do it. But then again, that might be what y'all do. So that's just my opinion.
And when you say
Jamil, tell him.
Y'all, there's 6 other people here.
Oh, okay.
Because I know, because look, because I know Mark and Q. They probably ain't got no problem cussing a quarterback out on the sideline. And I see Mark. I know that because I grew up outside of Philly, so I know.
I was on the bottom of the roster, so I would give a million
All I can speak on is what I
was on the other side. And seriously, go ahead. Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, all I can speak on is what I've experienced within, that locker room and the time that I was with Buffalo. And Stephon Diggs was a guy that was always a leader. He wasn't called upon to be the vocal leader because you have Josh Allen in that room and a Mitch Morse who led by example. And you had certain guys on the offensive line that had that voice. But I think he's a different type of leader, right? His style of play, the way that he attacks the ball, the way that he gets the crowd into it after he makes a big play. Those are the ways that his leadership was, kind of called upon. So I think, I would say that he's always been that type of guy. What they've done in New England, I think they've simplified the offense. We've always heard Josh McDaniel has a complicated offense for quarterbacks to run. They simplified it for him. They've kind of established what their identity is. We know Mike Vrabel is a culture builder. He brings that into an organization, like Bradford and Mark said. And the situational ball, a lot of games are won and lost in situational football. Mike Vrabel and his assistant John Stryker are one of the best in terms of educating on situational ball week to week.
Stay up to date all year on the NFL by subscribing to Locked On Sports Today and Locked On NFL on your favorite podcast app. Your Locked On Sports Today. Coming up, the Knicks' momentum died last night. Before we get to that, the Pistons, they just keep winning. The NFL season rolling along, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready for this weekend with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I love using FanDuel because it fits how I like to bet in the moment, whether it's a player prop, whether it's a same-game parlay, or even jumping in live as the action unfolds. It's quick, it's easy, and it's the best way to add a little more energy to Sunday. So, are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. The Pistons are now 10-2 after getting past the stumbling Bulls.
And that's happening with Duncan Robinson playing a ton of minutes, and he's contributing directly to the offense being a lot better. So I know Duncan got a lot of flack early in the season. I know that a lot of Pistons fans want Malik Beasley back. I know a lot of Pistons fans think Malik Beasley would be better. All this stuff. I see Duncan Robinson get picked on a lot by Pistons fans throughout games. But everyone needs to give Duncan his respect. He's doing exactly what he was brought here to do. This year, guys, actually, I just saw this number. This is actually insane. So far this year, he is in the 99th percentile on spot-ups. 99th percentile. No one's doing it better than him.
The Cavs crushed the Heat.
Danny Cunningham here at the Kaseya Center in Miami after the Cavs lose to the Miami Heat 140-138 in overtime. And boy, there is a lot to unpack from this one. So Miami won the game on a buzzer-beating dunk from Andrew Wiggins. This was after Donovan Mitchell hit an incredible three from the left corner to tie the game at 138 with 0.4 of a second left. Miami ran a fantastic sideline out of bounds play to free up Wiggins. He's able to dunk the ball just before time expires to give Miami the win. But the biggest story from this one is going to be the status of Darius Garland. So Garland played, was his third game back after missing the first 7 with that toe injury that he had to have surgery on following the playoffs last year. He left the game in the third quarter. In the second quarter, it looked like Garland was limping a little bit, went back to the locker room with around 90 seconds left in the first half, did start the second half, but then had to leave the game and was ruled out shortly thereafter. We don't have a formal update. Garland was not in a walking boot in the locker room after the game. I would take that as a good sign, but I really do think that this is something that we're going to have to wait for a little bit more information on before we really have an idea of just how significant, if at all, this toe injury could be for Garland. And Kenny Atkinson also was ejected from this game, just making it all the more crazy. Atkinson said he was very unhappy with the free throw discrepancy, especially in the third quarter where Miami had 20 free throw attempts compared to just 2 for the Cavs. He mentioned that several times in an answer about why Scott Foster threw him out of this game. Now for the Cavs, they play again on Wednesday night right here in Miami against the Heat. It's that baseball series setup, so they're going to stick around. Maybe we have an update on Darius Garland before then, but there will be a lot to talk about from this game over at Locked On Cavs.
Steph Curry now has more 40-point games after turning 30 years old than anyone not named Michael Jordan.
Epic performance from Steph Curry. How about 44 points, 22 of them coming in the third quarter that saw the Warriors pretty much go from they're not going to win this game, they don't have a shot to win this game, to Curry's going to make sure they win this game. Jimmy Butler was given the lead as Steph Curry sat the final few minutes of the third, bridging into the fourth. Butler was able to give the Warriors just another point or two cushion for when Curry returned. He takes over and finishes with 44 in the game. I mentioned Butler, 28 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, 0 turnovers, got to the line 12 times, hit 9 of them. Curry got to the line 16 times, hit 15 of them. And then Moses Moody, 19 points. It was those 3 that really seemed like all the trust was in that trio. Draymond was getting wide open shots, top of the key, wasn't knocking them down. In fact, Draymond, really tough shooting night, 1 of 10, 0 of 7 overall. Jonathan Kuminga had to lead the game with knee soreness. And then Podziemski didn't play a great game, but hit a big shot late. Will Richard didn't do a ton, hit a big shot late. Al Horford, some big shots late. But again, it was Steph Curry, first and foremost. It was Jimmy Butler, Robin, and then it was Moses Moody stepping up with a very unsung performance, especially in the first half, to keep this thing close. Warriors win, post-game show right now on the YouTube page.
Paul Skeens is a Cy Young winner in just his second season of pro baseball.
Hey, everybody, it's your pal Gary from Locked On Pirates, and Paul Skeens wins the Cy Young in the National League unanimously. I mean, Christopher Sanchez got all 30 votes for second place, so it was close, but not really. Unbelievable. He's just an incredible pitcher. I'm proud as a Pirates fan. It was announced by Doug Drabeck. Paul, you'll see his reception speech on your own. We'll talk about it on the show tomorrow for sure. But an incredible season. He's one of 3 pitchers now, Dwight Gooden and Valenzuela, to ever win the Rookie of the Year and follow it up with a Cy Young. So, wow. I'm pumped, man. And I know there's rumors that fly around and everything, and fans buy into it. But Paul, I mean, if you can just even do a little bit, he's the kind of guy, he's the kind of kid that could lead you somewhere. What a season. Can't wait to see more. Let's go Bucks.
The Knicks were trucking along, having won 5 straight before getting crushed by the Magic last night. Locked On Knicks host Gavin Shaw reacts to one of the worst offenses in the league going off against the Knicks.
It was 2 weeks ago, and it feels so much longer than then. But it was only 2 weeks ago that I sat here angry, in this chair, in this spot, livid, asking humongous questions about this team, humongous questions about what this team was about and whether this new mix could come together, could be what we think it could be. If you remember that loss to the Detroit Pistons two weeks ago, that was as low as we have felt really in 4 years under Jamal Mosley. The weight of expectations it didn't look like Orlando Magic basketball. And even as the Magic began to kind of come out of that 1-4 start and that 4-game losing streak, things never felt completely right. Like, sure, you trounced the Charlotte Hornets, you trounced the Washington Wizards. No one's losing sleep over that. No one's saying much about that. But then you go to Atlanta on national TV. Yes, to end a road trip. I claimed it was a schedule loss. I'll give the Knicks their credit here in a minute. But you go on national TV and you lay an absolute egg. You don't look competitive against a real team. Your defense just completely betrays you. And we all had to sit there and wonder for the whole week, who is this Magic team? They're not giving us the bill of goods that we expected. And all the rumors, all the innuendo, to steal a phrase from our friends at Something to Wrestle With, all the rumors and innuendo began to fly. Trust me, I've been asked, been thinking about them. Try not to give them, not to verbalize them, not to give them credence. And the message continued to be, hopefully from me, but certainly from the Magic, was be patient. It will all come together. But honestly, even this weekend, it didn't feel that way. You follow up a really nice win against the Boston Celtics, a really good character win, needing to punch back in the fourth quarter with a dispiriting loss, 17 turns for 29 points, if you remember, on Sunday. You come back Monday night in a back-to-back against Portland Trailblazers, put together a really good 45 minutes, and then nearly give it all away in 3. Needing a game-winning three-pointer from Desmond Bane to save the game, and probably save the season a little much, but certainly save some confidence. To say the least, I think most of us were expecting, just hoping for a good showing against the New York Knicks. On the road against one of the best teams in the league. Yes, on the second night of a back-to-back. Yes, playing their third game in 4 nights. But a team that was 7-0 at the Garden. A team that is averaging 120 points per game. A team that does all the things the Magic are really bad at, like offensive rebounding and all that. I think the Magic just hope to take a step forward. Right? For at least the fans and us. We're just hoping to see, okay, just be competitive, show that we're inching to the right direction. None of us saw this. All of us knew the Magic were capable of this, were capable of these kinds of games, knew that this was who the Magic have to be. But I don't think any of us rationally, and look, players are got to be irrationally confident, so I'm sure everyone inside that Magic locker room believed. But none of us probably saw this. A dominant 124-107 victory. A game where the Magic led by as much as 20 points. Where the Magic never let the Knicks get closer than 9 in the second half. A game where they stifled defensively, frustrating Karl Anthony Towns, bugging Jalen Brunson, fouling maybe a little too much, but fouling nonetheless. And using their physicality and using their size and their dominance, not only to create offense, but to set the tone for the game. The Magic said before the game started, they wanted to be the aggressors. That was going to be the statement they were going to make. They may go down swinging, but they were going to be the aggressors. And even on a night where the Magic didn't shoot the ball particularly well, they dragged New York to their level. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Orlando Magic basketball. We'll get to making the offense a little better. And look, the offense is better than it was last year. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The Magic are doing good things on that end of the floor. Maybe not as great as we want them to be, but doing good things. But this is the core of Orlando Magic basketball. They grab, they push, they get under your skin. And now, because they're so much better in transition, when they get those turnovers, they're quickly to the other end and scoring. That's the real change. And that's the real boost that the Magic are getting from last year. Orlando let their defense lead, and that has been one of the big struggles for this team throughout the course of this season. They let their defense lead. They pushed the tempo. They controlled the tempo. When they wanted to slow it down, they slowed it down. When they needed baskets, they got to the foul line. They got their defense set and made sure New York didn't have very much space to breathe. Like, yeah, they got some shots off. Jalen Brunson had a big game, but they made sure they got under their skin. They made sure the Knicks felt them.
Stay up to date all year on the New York Knicks by subscribing to Locked On Sports Today and Locked On Knicks on YouTube or your favorite podcast app. Coming up, the Thunder did not treat the Lakers very kindly. what the Thunder did in the first half to the Lakers last night? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you're right. Maybe it doesn't. Locked on Thunder host Rylan Stiles recaps a bloody beatdown of LA at the hands of Shea and company.
The Thunder in this game, second night of a back-to-back, still don't have J-Dub, still don't have Aaron Wiggins, still don't have Ken Richard Topich. And the Lakers, while they got off to this 8-3 start heading into this game, we've been without LeBron James all season long. They, of course, were still without LeBron James in this game. But the Thunder just absolutely beat them down, and it starts with their defense on Luka Doncic. And heading into this game, you could figure some tired legs on the second night of a back-to-back. You could just simply cast it off as, they're missing two all-defensive members in street clothes tonight in Dub and Dort. And you could have been worried about what Luka Doncic would do to this Thunder roster. He's had success against Oklahoma City. And it was going to be interesting to see how could the Thunder limit Luka Doncic. They didn't limit him. They completely shut him down. They completely took him out of the game. And this was a great effort from not only Cason Wallace, from this entire team. And honestly, you've got to give a lot of credit to Mark as well, because they came up with this system to just blitz and hedge on every ball screen against Luka and put pressure on the back end and rely on their back end rotation to take away the paint as best they could. While also, of course, with those blitzes oftentimes coming off of DeAndre Ayton screens, having bigs have to contest Luka on the outside and help Cason Wallace trap him. The margin for error is so small against Luka because of his playmaking ability off of his three-level scoring ability that it's hard to make him uncomfortable. And the Thunder did that in a fantastic way. There were very, very, very few breakdowns. You can think of one where Cason forces Luka to fumble the ball away twice, and Luka's on a loaded, strong side of the court, and nobody's on the cross court to defend a Rui catch-and-shoot three that Luka got to him with a midair pass. You can think of the one where SGA fouls Ayton as he's a late rotation to Ayton, trying to contest him at the rim whenever you have your center playing high and hedging off of that initial screen. Those are the two plays that you can think of that the Thunder would have wanted to have back, or the Thunder just got beat because of Luka's playmaking and because his role players stepped up for him. Other than that, it was Isaiah Hartenstein. It was Chet Holmgren switching on to Luka Doncic and putting him in traffic and making his life uncomfortable. And this is a testament to this entire team. Jay Will and Brennan Carlson did that job as well, in lesser minutes, of course, than Hart and Chet in the grand scheme of things. But you saw Jay Will come in, and it did a great job picking up Doncic off the screens, forcing him to be a passer. Ayton had 6 early points, but other than that, it was a light night from DeAndre Ayton, considering the pressures that the Thunder are putting on him. And I think that when you looked at OKC, they did a great job of changing up how they defended Luka. We mentioned how heavy they were off of screens. They also let Chet defend him in isolation a couple times. They also let Cason take him in isolation a few times. They let Alex Caruso take him in isolation a couple times. So just whenever the Lakers thought they could maneuver around the looks that the Thunder were giving them, the Thunder changed those looks, and they played back and forth between those two coverages in this game. I thought that this was a phenomenal defensive game from OKC.
And finally, Brian Kelly says LSU is moving the goalposts. No, not literally. After firing him for performance in October, the school now claims he wasn't formally terminated and is trying to make it for cause, which would be an end around that would duck a $54 million buyout. Kelly filed suit for declaratory ruling, pointing to public statements, timelines, the contract required, and even rejected settlement offers. It's been an extremely messy end of the Kelly era, and the season isn't even over yet. If you're catching this episode after hearing your favorite Locked On show, make sure to subscribe to Locked On Sports Today on YouTube or wherever you get podcasts so you never miss an episode. Also, if you're a new subscriber to Locked On Sports Today, we're here for you with the biggest stories in sports every day. Coming up, the Patriots are looking to crush the Jets on Thursday Night Football. So at least until tomorrow, stay locked on sports today.
Locked On Podcast Network presents Locked On Sports Today.
For more episodes of Locked On Sports Today, go to our video on demand. Click on sports at the top of your screen. There, you'll find past episodes of Locked On Sports Today, plus other Locked On shows on demand.